Hey, what's up? So, here I am, parked along the side of the street in Spring Hill, Kansas, and I'm going to be sitting for 12 hours or more. Oh, this Maverick was parked in the middle of the damn cul-de-sac. What kind of jackass parks in a cul-de-sac? It's an intentional turnaround point for trucks. There's a sign right there that says no truck turnaround, use cul-de-sac. That's what that sign right there says. Is these companies up and down through here don't want trucks pulling in to turn around. This street has a cul-de-sac right back there, not too terribly far behind me, that is the whole purpose of that cul-de-sac is for trucks to be able to turn around. And that damn Maverick driver behind me dropped his trailer alongside the road, and I guess he didn't want people driving by him and interrupting him. So he disconnected from his trailer and parked in the cul-de-sac to sleep. And I think I might have woke him up whenever I turned around in the cul-de-sac. So now he's reattaching to his trailer. But there was still plenty of room to turn around. It wasn't that big of a deal. But I just think it's kind of a dick move to park in the middle of a turnaround spot like that. So what's going on? Drama, and more drama. Oh my goodness. So the place I'm picking up from is this blue building right here. The entrance to it is, do you see that truck down there that's turning left? He looks like he's turning into the place across the street from him. Or maybe he's just like testing his blinker fluid. No, he's turning in. That's a Swift truck. So right where he turned left, just before that, on the opposite side is the turn-in place. This is Clorox, is what I think it is. I'm gonna see if they'll give me some damn Clorox wipes if they have them here. Those bastards. So there's drama with this load already. I have been setting a lot this week. Partly that was just due to the loads I picked. You know, there's not a lot of loads on the load board. Freight is kind of slow right now on USA Trucks load board. I can't speak for the spot market or anything else, but I just have access to USA Trucks load board. And there's a storm moving across here. I don't know if you can see it. I've been getting sprinkles off and on. The driver manager has just messaged me back. I don't even know why I fucking bothered messaging them. They can't do anything. But so let me go through the messages that I sent them. And this is basically a dead-end street, so there shouldn't be a whole lot of traffic behind me or going past me, because there's only like one or two businesses behind me. Let me see here. Alright, so I sent this message. I'll read it in case you can't see it. They won't load me. They said the appointment is for tomorrow at 5 p.m., not today. My appointment time on this load says today at 5 p.m. And the after hours and weekends basically said, yeah, there's nothing we can do. They said, if they will not load you until tomorrow, there is not a lot we can do. Do you wish off the load? Wiley. And I replied with, that's what I'm trying to decide right now. I'm running through the hours of service with a schedule to see if I can do it. I'll message you in a few minutes to let you know if I think I can make the delivery appointment. The delivery says 11:45 Wednesday. That is 11:45 a.m., correct? And he said, yes, 11:45 in the morning, Wiley. And I said, I think I can still make the delivery appointment. I'll go ahead and keep the load. Thank you much. and he or she, I don't know if Wiley is a last name or a first name. Okay, keep us updated if you cannot get loaded in a timely manner tomorrow, Wiley. So this is the what I am. So it took Walmart like 5 hours to unload me this morning. I got there at 4 a.m. Not 4. I got there at 4:34 a.m. And I got out of there at almost 10 a.m. I think my paperwork said that that they finished with my paperwork at 9:36 a.m. or something like that. So they told me when I just called them that my appointment was not today, it was tomorrow at 5 p.m. And I'm so pissed off right now. Like, how difficult is a broker's job? You have to put in pickup times, delivery times, and the information on the load. You just have to input that information and get somebody to take it. Now, the sales part of it is probably the most difficult part of the job, getting somebody to take the load. But, I mean, the biggest part of their damn job is listing a load properly. And I don't know who the screw-up is on the pickup time. I asked them, I said, well, whenever I was on the phone with them, because the way this place has you check in is they have you, the sign out there that you probably can't see, the sign that says A&M Shipping, Clorox, whatever, turn right, it has a phone number there and it says call this number. And I called that number, and that's when they told me to, they're not going to load me today, tomorrow. There is some slightly good news. I don't know if it's that good, but we'll go over what my, the schedule is. So I'm betting worst case scenario. Well, it's not worst case scenario. I'm estimating that it could take up to 5 hours for them to get me loaded, and I have an appointment for tomorrow at 5 p.m. I was supposed to be loaded today at 5 p.m. Saturday, but now it's tomorrow at 5 p.m. So I'm guessing that I'm going to be out of here by 10 p.m. tomorrow night is when they're finally going to have me loaded. So I start driving at 10 p.m. and I'm estimating 12 hours. So I'm driving my full 11 plus a 30 plus 30 minutes for what the hell ever. Just an extra 30 minutes in there just for whatever might happen. And, I'm hoping I can get a full 600 miles in that drive shift. And then, so that I'll drive from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. and then take 10 hours off and be driving again at 8 p.m. and go until 8 a.m. 600 miles again, and then take 10 hours off from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. and then drive from 6 to 6. So 6 a.m. Wednesday morning is when I could potentially make it there in a very realistic scenario here, averaging 60 miles per hour roughly, 55 to 60 miles per hour, and driving my full 11-hour drive shift. I'm not really adding in time here for fuel stops, but that extra 30 minutes that I'm adding in, that could probably account for fuel stops, plus I'm getting there approximately 5 hours early for the appointment. So, I have 5 hours of extra time on the load to account for fuel stops or whatever. Now, the problem is that if I can't do the mileage in the drive shifts, I need to do over 600 miles per drive shift because it's 1,810 miles. It's a little over 1,800 miles from here to the delivery location. and that's if I don't go off route at all. That's straight from here to there. That's not including driving, a couple miles to get to the truck stop, a couple miles back onto the interstate, all that stuff. So there's going to be extra miles in there besides that. So it's going to be more than 1,810 miles. But basically, I have to do a minimum of 600 miles every drive shift. Now, to put that into context for anybody who's not in trucking, there are a lot of people that, and I've said this before in videos, there are a lot of people that have never done over 600 miles in a drive shift. And there are people that have done it, but it's really rare. Oh, it looks like Swift went to the wrong damn place, because now Swift is pulling into the place where I'm supposed to go. Swift did go across the street to that other place, and now they're back over here. I don't know what it is with Swift's directions, but I see Swift trucks quite often, like making turning in the wrong direction to get to a shipper or receiver. There was one place that I delivered to in God, I forgot it was in Oklahoma, and I remember it was east of Muskogee. It was some really small town east of Muskogee, someplace I delivered there, and I watched like 3 or 4 Swift trucks come in and take a left at the light instead of a right. If they would have taken a right, they would have pulled into the delivery location, into the warehouse, but they all took lefts and went into the city, or town, and they ended up going down into some residential streets. I don't know how in the hell they got turned around, but eventually all of them ended up making it back over there. Swift, I don't know what it is with their directions that they give their drivers. I think Swift is one of those companies that gives their drivers directions all the way to the door of the place they're supposed to go to, and that might be the problem, because their GPS is telling them all the way up to the door of the place, and they're just completely following their GPS, and it's wrong a lot. USA Truck, their directions that they give you, their route, just gets you basically to the town. And then it tells you local. Once it gets you to basically to the zip code of where you're going, then the rest of it is local, and you have to kind of figure that out. There's as somebody said that moved over from I think he came from Swift, and he made I saw him in a YouTube video. He said that he moved over from like Swift or somebody over here to USA Truck, and he said this is a big boy company. He said they don't hold your hand like his previous company, which I think was Swift. He said Swift, or whoever it was he was driving for, would tell you everything to do. USA Truck just kind of tells you what to do, and you figure out how to do it. So anyway, I chatted with the guy on the phone, and I was like, man, I'm not a team driver. What's the delivery appointment you're showing on this load? And I said, is it the 15th? And he said, yeah, I show it delivers on the 15th. And I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to deliver this. And he said, well, the best I can do, and this is the good news, is you can check in with us at 3 to 4 a.m. tomorrow and see if we can load you early. But he said, I can't load you today. You would have to wait until tomorrow to be loaded. So basically, I'm going to check in with them at 3 a.m. when the next shift comes on. And I will be... Basically, the way it sounds like this place works is that every day they're given a list of loads that they have to do. And they have appointments for those loads. And I'm going to be that day's responsibility to be loaded. So if they have the ability to load me early, then they can. But another day, they won't try to squeeze me in because I'm not their responsibility. So they said that, the place opens up at about 3, 4 a.m. and I can check in at that time to see if they can load me. So I'll tell them my sob story whenever I call at 3 a.m. and see if they'll load me in early. If I can get loaded, the thing is that I really want an extra drive shift on this load. The way this was going to start, if I would have been loaded on time, I would have had 2 extra drive shifts almost. So I would have had plenty of time to do this load. Now it's putting me into a position where I don't have any leeway whatsoever. So if I can get loaded early tomorrow, especially around 3 or 4 a.m., then that adds in another drive shift to where I don't have to kill myself and, to get there. Because the way it stands right now, looking at my schedule, I can't sleep in. I have to be ready to go as soon as, my 10 is up. I have to be rolling, and I can't stop while I'm driving. I have to run as hard as possible, and I can't have any slowdowns. I'm going to have to run at the speed limit or above the speed limit the entire time, because running across Kansas, it's going to be 70 to 75 mile per hour speed limits. When I get into Colorado, I think it's still 70. And then Idaho, I'm not sure about. And I think there's one other state that I'm driving through. But once I start getting over to Oregon, I'm not sure what, last time I was in Oregon 15 years ago, the truck speed limit across Oregon was 55. I can't do 600 miles in a drive shift at a 55 mile per hour speed limit. It's thundering. I can hear thunder. That storm's getting closer to me. See those really dark clouds right there? They were talking on the radio about hail and all kinds of stuff. Let's hope there's no tornadoes. But I'm gonna try to get loaded early. I'm gonna check in with them at 3, 4 a.m. Tell them, hey, I've been here since yesterday. There was a mix-up on the appointment time I was given, and I'm trying to get loaded early because it's going to be very difficult for me to make this delivery appointment if I can't get loaded until 5 p.m. today. And see if they'll, work hard to squeeze me in. If they basically are dicks to me tomorrow when I call at 3 a.m. and they're like, no, you're just going to have to set until 5, and they're, dicks about it, and I'll be like, all right, I'm going to have to cancel this load then. I appreciate it. Thanks, sir. And I'm going to message and tell them to take me off this fucking load because I'm not going to deal with this bullshit. Because for all I know, the delivery time could be wrong as well. And, this load is just not going to be worth the hassle. I mean, I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to get pissed off and just cancel the whole fucking load if they won't work with me on this. I'm not 100% on that. That's undecided at this point. I wonder what this guy's doing. Just, pimp rolling down the road here. Maybe they told him that they wouldn't load him, and they told him the same thing they told me, which was basically to go park on the street. Because I asked them, I said, well, is there anywhere to park around here? And they said the street. I'm like, all right. There's no parking signs on the right side, so you're not supposed to park on the right side of the street, but there are no parking signs on this side of the street. The other side of the street has tons of no parking signs. So I'm guessing that guy that's slow rolling down the street is doing the same thing I did. He's sitting there thinking, God, I hope there's a place to turn around here somewhere. And he's going to see that cul-de-sac and be like, thank God. And he's probably going to park. There's not a whole lot of places to park behind me, so he's probably actually going to drive past me and he better not park in between me and the railroad tracks. That is a really bad place to park, because you have the turn in right there. That's the main entrance to shipping and receiving for that business. And if he parks straight across from that, then trucks may not be able to turn in there. They're going to be having to go up over the curb and stuff to make it in there if he parks straight across from them in that spot. Plus, he's going to be within like 50 feet of a railroad crossing. So that's also really bad. So there's not enough room right there in that little spot for a truck to park. A truck should not park there. So he's turning around in the cul-de-sac right now. I don't know if there's a place to park behind me. Maverick is parked in a spot behind me. And I think that he's going to have to pull up and park on the other side of the railroad tracks from me. But anyway, yeah, before I messaged the driver managers and told them that I would go ahead and continue with this load, I did check the load board. And if there was a good load on the load board, I would have told them to take this crap off of me, because I'm pissed off right now. I'm really, looks like he's going to park behind Maverick. I didn't think there was enough room back there for another truck without blocking the entrance to one of these businesses. But it looks like there's maybe enough room, or he's going to just block somebody. I don't know. But, yeah, I have 12 hours. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got here at 3, roughly. Been making this video for 22 minutes, and then before that, I was messaging driver managers and checking my hours of service and all the times and all that stuff. But yeah, basically I have 12 hours from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. before I can check back in with them again and see if they can get me loaded. If they can get me loaded at 3 a.m., I think I will still be good to go. The thing that sucks about that is I'm probably going to end up checking in with them at 3. And they're probably going to tell me to check back in with them in a couple hours. And then I'm going to check back in with them in a couple hours. Then they're going to keep doing that to me all day long. And I'm going to end up staying awake all day long, and they're going to end up loading me at 5 p.m. anyway. This just seems like a really shitty shipper, is what it seems like. I'm going to avoid this place going forward. Maybe it's a broker. I don't know. I'm not gonna like, because there's quite a few good loads that come out of this place, and this place is pretty close to Kansas City, so I don't want to write this place off. If I have another negative experience with this place, then I will stop pulling loads from here. But this one is probably just a dumb broker. And it might not even be the broker. It might be the account manager at USA Truck that input the information into our load board. Because that's the problem with this. I'm so disconnected from the shipper. There's like 4 or 5 people in between me and the shipper. And if any one of them inputs something incorrectly, then I'm going to have bad information. Or if they don't bother to put, all the information, then I'm going to have missing information. That's one of the things that is going to be nice about getting on with Landstar, is at Landstar I'm going to have direct contact with brokers. If I had direct contact with the broker, I would be lighting his phone up right now. And if I kept this load, then I would demand more money. I would tell them, all right, you're going to put more money on me or I'm out of here. Damn, there's another Maverick. Maverick's just crawling out of some business behind me. I'm guessing it's their glass division, because the thing on the back of their flatbed looks like one of those things that holds glass. Here, they're going to drive by here in just a second. You'll see what I'm talking about. Damn, he's hauling ass. I don't know if that's glass or what that is that they're hauling there, but I think that the jackass in the Maverick truck was speeding up really quick, to get there before that Schneider truck, which is a real dick move. See what I'm talking about? How tight that was for Schneider right there to pull out of that spot? And I think Schneider turned in there just to turn around, because that place is the entrance and the exit is down further. So they're not supposed to pull out right there, I don't think. So I think Schneider just pulled in there to turn around. Maybe there was a massive screw up on the appointment times, and they got the appointment times wrong on a whole bunch of loads. Because it looks like a bunch of us are just like, we got here and they told us to leave. Maybe somebody's schedule screwed up. But Schneider just pulled in here, turned around, and now he's leaving. I know he didn't get loaded. So he probably just doesn't want to hang out here. He's probably going to go to the nearest truck stop. Here comes another Swift. Let's see if this Swift turns in to that same place that the other one did. Because they have, like, I think Swift has like turn-by-turn directions all the way to the entrance to the shipper. So the other Swift turned left. This one, nope, this one's got his turn signal on, going in the correct direction. Yep, looks like he's going to the right place. That is where I am going. So this Swift driver went to the correct place. The one before him went to the business across the street. But yeah, it's drama on this load. I'm really salty right now. I'm gonna go. Let's see, let me lock my door. Always lock your doors. See this? I wish this one had, you know, the the electronic locks, the Kenworth, the console in the back where you could. Let me just go back here and show you. Let me turn the light on. I love the LED lighting in here. They're so bright. This control panel on the Kenworth had a button to lock the doors. And I highly recommend that you lock your doors whenever you're, you know, in the truck, so that some random person doesn't, like, just pop your door open. Because like, there's a lot of weird people out there. You don't know what their intentions are. And if they just open up your door and get into your truck while you're back here naked sleeping, then you're gonna be at a disadvantage. I used to not be, you know, very particular about, you know, locking my door until as a company driver at USA Truck, I was at the Atlanta, Georgia terminal, one of them, the one that has the shop, and one of the shop people just opened up my damn door. He was just going around checking trucks. I don't know what he was checking, but he was just like opening trucks up and looking inside of them. And that scared the hell out of me. Ever since then, I've been locking my damn doors. Because I was in a very vulnerable situation whenever he popped that open. Whenever he popped it open, I said, "Hello?" And he closed the door and walked off without saying anything. I think he was checking trucks for service or something. I don't know. check Reddit, see what kind of drama is going on. Maybe somebody replied to one of my comments. Okay, so this was a guy that was asking for opinions, recommendations about whether or not he should report accidents, or he calls them incidents. He's a new driver working for a mega carrier, and he has 3 preventable accidents with them. Little minor stuff, where he backed into trailers. Well, some of it's not too terribly minor. When he was pulling out of a spot, he ripped somebody's headlight assembly out of their truck. He backed into a trailer on another one. Okay, he says the third one wasn't actually an accident. He just rolled a few feet into the intersection of a 4-way stop. That's what he's replying with right now. So it triggered the dash cam because he slammed on the brakes because he rolled past the line. And basically my reply to him was, I would not divulge this information voluntarily to a potential employer. And I said that he needs to be very careful with leaving his current employer, because most companies will terminate you if you get 3 preventable accidents within a 1-year period. And if you try to get hired on somewhere and you have 3 preventable accidents within the last year, even if it's like not on your motor vehicle record, it's just on your drive-a-check, or, companies are required by law in trucking to check with your previous employers. And whenever they contact your previous employer, if your previous employer tells them that you had 3 preventable accidents within the last year, and they give them the dates for all the accidents, a lot of companies aren't going to hire you. And that's basically what I told this guy. And he was saying, and his reply is basically saying that one of them was not a preventable accident. It was just going over the line into an intersection at a 4-way stop. He didn't stop in time, rolled past the line, and slammed on his brakes in the middle of the intersection, basically. Basically, he ran a stop sign. So it wouldn't. He says that doesn't. He doesn't think that would qualify as a preventable accident. Though that would probably be worse than a preventable accident. But supposedly his carrier has written up all of the incidents, so it's probably on his drive-a-check, and it's on his record with them. This is one of the things about driving for a lot of the megas is every little thing that happens, they're going to mark it against you on your record. Stuff like that happening at a place like USA Truck, they're real cavalier about that kind of stuff. They're really nonchalant about it. They're not going to ruin your driving record over petty little things at USA Truck. Now, if you really screw up bad, yeah, they're gonna put that stuff down there, but I haven't had any issues with them trying to do petty little crap against me. The only incident that I've ever had with USA Truck was I want to say it was my first week in the truck as a trainee. I was backing into a spot, and my trainer was spotting for me on my blind side. And I had pissed him off about 10 minutes prior to this, and maybe he did this just to get back at me, but I was relying on him to spot for me and let me know if I was about to hit anything. And I was backing into a spot, and I had the tandems, the tires lined up with the lines, but this particular spot was not designed for these vehicles. It was designed for little box trucks that were much narrower. So even though I was lined up on the left side perfectly for the spot, I was over by about a foot or two on the right side because it was a small dock door, and I didn't notice that, and he didn't say anything. And I bumped against one of these yellow poles, these right here. There's a little yellow pole there to keep you from hitting the side of the building. well, this staircase to go into the side of the building. And so I bumped one of those at a very low speed with the DOT bumper, and it did not put a scratch that I could see on either the yellow pole or the DOT bumper. And my trainer, even though we were pissed off at each other about an incident that had happened about 10 or 15 minutes prior, we both just said it wasn't a big deal, and I went ahead and parked in there. I moved over to the other spot and parked in. But that's the only incident that I've ever had with USA Truck. I am really cautious. I'm a very cautious driver, so I don't really have many problems. Here comes that Swift that turned into the wrong place. I guess he just dropped his trailer and booked it out of there. I don't know how the loading works here at this place. Do they have you disconnect and leave and then come back? I don't know what's going on. That looks like a very young person driving that Swift truck. But anyway, that's all the stuff going on with me. So I'm going to go hop on my computer and screw around for a while. And hopefully I'm going to get loaded about 3 or 4 a.m. and be able to get rolling over to the West Coast. I'm really, really, really pissed off about this load right now. That they're delaying it by a day. He pulled back in over there at that place across the street. Maybe he's looking for a place to camp out for the night. Or maybe I'm seeing a yard dog. Okay, so that's probably the property of the same company. So he probably is doing a drop and hook here. He's going over there to look for an empty. But yeah, because I'm already like really pissed off about the scheduling conflict and this miscommunication, if I have another thing happen with this load, I'm probably just going to cancel the damn load and tell them to, go screw themselves. So, hopefully I don't have any more hiccups on this load and I could just, get going on it. The load doesn't pay amazing. Let me go over the reasons why I picked this load. The two loads that I picked before this one, I make roughly $900 on each one of those loads. Whenever you take out USA Truck's 35% and you add in the fuel surcharge, my total that I'm making on each one of those loads is $900 roughly, and they're both about 1 day loads. One of them was 722 miles, the other one was 590 miles. So they're both basically 1 day loads, so $900 a day on each one of those loads. Now they took me more than a day because I wasn't able to get them scheduled close together. So I had like 24 hours of downtime in between the two loads. But basically $900 a day on those loads. This load was supposed to be a 4-day load, and it was paying me roughly $2,800 is what it was paying me. So that comes out to about $700 a day. That's not very good, but if you consider that I can drive this in 3 days, and if you divide it by 3 instead of 4, then it comes out to like $800 and almost $900 a day, $850 or something. I don't know. I'm not gonna break out a calculator on that. $850 a day is close enough. So it still gets me in that ballpark of $850 to $900 a day. I don't know what in the hell Swift's doing now. He's just parked in the middle of the road. I think he's maybe looking for a place to turn around. What the hell was I thinking? Okay, so the pay on it is not amazing, but whenever you take away that extra day, which they just took that extra day away from me, then the pay becomes reasonable. And if you watch my previous videos, I try to do $500 a day minimum. At $500 a day, I'm basically making as much as a company driver. $500 a day on a 6-day week, that's $3,000 a week. If you take away, $1,000 for fuel, that's $2,000. And then you start taking away all my other fixed costs, you're getting down to $1,500 or less. Especially if you add in a truck payment, which fortunately I don't have a truck payment, but I am going to need to buy a truck, and I do need to pay myself back all the money that I paid cash for this truck. So just pretend I have a $500 a week truck payment. So that gets me down to like $1,200, $1,300 a week. If I'm only making $500 a day, then what I'm actually bringing home is probably close to $1,200 a week, which is about what I made as a company driver. So it's not worth it to be an owner-operator if all you're making is $500 a day. So I try to make $1,000 a day. That's my goal, is to make $1,000 a day. It needs to be more than $500 a day to make it worth my while. So all of these loads that I've been pulling have been keeping me roughly in the $900 a day profit. So that's one of the reasons I picked this load, is that it basically is $900 a day that I'm going to be making on this load. Yeah, 9 times 3 is 27, isn't it? So yeah, it's actually a little over $900 a day on this load, if it's a 3-day load instead of a 4-day load. Because it's like $27.77 or something like that I'm making on this load with fuel surcharge. And that's just a guesstimate on fuel surcharge, because I think these people are doing BTF, breakthrough fuel. So the fuel surcharge is probably going to be more than that. It could be a lot more than that, because I calculated breakthrough. I calculated it at 10 cents per mile, and I've been making around 11 to 12 cents per mile on breakthrough fuel. But this has me going up into the west where fuel is expensive, so they might actually be paying like 15 cents per mile on breakthrough fuel. Maybe even as much as 20. Who knows? That could be a huge difference. That could be another $200 or $300 that I'm not counting on. That could put me over $1,000 a day on this load. That is the reason I picked this load. One of the reasons is because it's a decent paying load. And because it's taken up multiple days, then I'm not going to have to be looking for a load every damn day. You know, this load's going to cover me for a week, well, half a week. The other reason is I really like the idea of driving in the areas that this load's going to be taking me. Now, I'm not too thrilled about the loads I'm going to have to take to get out of there, because I'm probably going to have to go to California, and I do not want to go to California. But I'm probably going to have to go to California to get back home. Probably going to have to go to LA to get back home. It's either that or take really cheap loads. If I want to make some money getting back home, I'm probably going to have to go down to LA. Which, you know, that's not terrible. I can do that. But the other reason is because if I end up going to Portland, and then I get a load from Portland down to LA, and then LA headed back east, one of the places that it was looking like I was going to do a delivery was going to be St. George, Utah, which would take me straight through Vegas. and my buddy Percy lives in Vegas. So one of the reasons I grabbed this load was because I can potentially stop by and say hello to Percy on this load. So, yeah, I'm not going to go way out of my way to intentionally pick loads to do that. Oh, those two birds are fighting. That little bird was chasing after the bigger bird. I don't know what that was all about. And now they're both perched up on power lines. Maybe the smaller bird has a nest and the bigger bird was over there trying to eat its babies or something. Ooh, the guy in this GMC is hauling ass down that little road. He's going like 40 miles an hour down that little road. So yeah, there's a couple reasons that I grabbed this load. One is decent money, but I could have made roughly the $900 a day by continuing to run around in this area that I'm running around in. So there were other factors involved, like, you know, possibly being able to swing by and see Percy. And I kind of just want to get back out west. I haven't been out west in 15 years since I left Reno, Nevada. I moved to Oklahoma like 15 years ago, and I haven't been out there. So there those birds go again. The little one chasing the big one. You probably can't see it because my video quality is so low. I guess that's it. I'm gonna go play on my computer and try and get some sleep, because if they get me loaded at 3 a.m. I want to be able to roll out. Oh man, it's gonna... My schedule right now is so messed up, because I tried to get a nap in between Walmart and this load, and I ended up sleeping for about a half an hour to an hour, and I got a nap in before that, before I did the Walmart delivery. I've just been living on naps my last two times I've gone to sleep. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.